Today's video, we're going to talk about influencer marketing conversion rates. If you are planning to do an influencer marketing campaign, I'm going to tell you the inside and outs with this, specifically what you could expect to earn from it, because this is the thing that no other video really talks about. They say, oh, you could do this, you could do that, blah, 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 blah. No specifics. You need to know before you even dump any money into this, can it work? Can you get the amount of sales revenue that'll offset the cost of that influencer ad buy, if you will? And I'm going to tell you the type of ad buys you can do through influencers that actually work versus the ones it's just a money grab, as well as what you should be paying for a view on a video or per impression on an influencer post, depending on what you're doing. So I'll cover all that and more, and then obviously the range of conversion rates you should be getting as per the title of this video, as per what you're selling, the price point, and so forth. Given that I've taken this data from real campaigns that our clients have been promoting at our firm. So with that said, I am Corey Ziman, owner of Guaranteed PPC, an online advertising agency that specializes in guaranteeing results for our clients. No other agency on the planet offers any kind of contingency guarantees with their advertising services and agency services, which should tell you something about the quality of the information that you're receiving on today's video. So with that said, okay, influencer marketing is not something that our firm specializes in. Just to let you know up front, we normally run traditional ads for clients. Google ads, Facebook ads, and the like, okay? I do talk about influencer marketing with clients quite a bit though, because the clients, as soon as they get results on their ads, are asking me, oh, Corey, I want to make even more. What should I do? Should I do influencer marketing, this or that? I say, here's what I know from other clients. They do it. I get feedback. So I get passive information about what influencer marketing actually works and doesn't work, given that have worked with hundreds of clients over the last decade plus at our advertising firm at Guaranteed PPC. So with that said, what I'm giving you here is personal antidotes as to the type of stuff that works and doesn't work and how much it actually works. Conversion rate wise, I'll tell you what you could convert. Mainly the influencer marketing that I would recommend is YouTube influencer ad buys. Each view of your video should net you in terms of a conversion rate in terms of sales, which is the easiest way to analyze and determine up front what you should be netting from a certain ad buy, and then what is likely to be profitable cost per view and through the ads that you're buying, of which depends on what price of whatever you're selling is how much money you could pay per view to some degree. That's pretty much the main nuts and bolts of it. With that said, the one thing I want to tell you right up front that you should know, first and foremost, before anything else, is there's a massive amount of fraud in the influencer marketing space. Lots and lots of channels here on YouTube alone, people are buying subscribers. Then they're selling ad buys for 10 times more than what they're worth, or at least 2, 3, 4, 5 times what they're worth, because half the followers that they have or more are all just fake followers or subscribers. The way that you tell if they've got fake subscribers, by the way, more than anything, is you go over and you use a tool called Social Blade, and you see if the influencer growth that the influencer has had over the last how many years has had any spikes, okay? And this is tough to tell because it only goes back so far. But with that said, if you see, typically subscriber growth goes in like an exponential curve. If what you see is, instead of a curve that goes like this straight up, you see one that goes like this, and there's a big peak in there somewhere, then you probably got fake views or fake subscribers with that influencer that you want to get with in question. And then you have to discount what you're paying for that ad read on that channel. But along with that, the other way it's fake is you look at the ratio of subscribers to views. What you'll notice on this channel, I don't buy subs, okay? And buying subs, if you're legitimately trying to grow a channel to get clients or customers directly, not trying to sell ad buys, you actively wouldn't want to juice your subscribers with fake subscribers because it's just going to throw off the algorithm and confuse it from finding the people that would actually want to subscribe to your content. What you'll do, if you look at my videos, if you divide the amount of views that I get per the subscribers, you'll get a ratio of like 30 to 1. So you'll get like 30 views to 1 subscriber. If you go to a channel like Grant Cardone's channel, just to give you one example of a blatant person who's bought in subs before, come after me all you want, basically here, but you'll see that he's got 3 million subscribers and each video is only getting like 10,000 views. So he's only getting like 1 view per 300 subscribers. So he's literally getting 10 times less views per subscriber than we're getting on this channel. Okay, that should be a big red flag if you have somebody that has to have 300 subscribers just to get 1 view on their average videos. And when I say average videos, I mean like the videos that have only been posted for like a week or so, not years ago. Because they naturally will pick up views over time just through the getting found in the search results and so forth. So that shows you kind of, if they have true subscribers or they bought some, the more they have, the more subscribers they bought, the less valuable. Because what people like to do is like to charge based upon how many subscribers they have. But that isn't the way that you should be paying. You should be paying per real view. Once you do the math of like what I mentioned, and what you should really have is like 30 subscribers per view, not 300 subscribers per view. If they have like 100 subscribers per view, you should discount and say 2/3 of their traffic is fake, basically, for lack of better words. You got to be typically between 10 cents and $1 per view, real views, once you subtract out the fake views. Follow me so far? So that's your basic premise of how you start out the conversation about whether somebody's going to be worth it or not to advertise with. Now, on top of that, the other key thing that you should know if you're going to get influencer marketing to truly work, because by the way, the reason why these influencers get by with selling unprofitable ad reads is because most people, when they advertise, don't know how to track their results, nor want to. They've hired some bonehead to run their marketing campaign that don't want to do anything else besides not get fired. And they don't give a rat's ass if it makes money or not. In fact, they'd rather have it not make money, but not stand out and do what everybody else is doing, because that's the least likely to get them fired. Your best bet is to pay somebody based upon sales growth if you can. A lot of people can't, but if you just want to know from experience what you want to do more than anything, that's it. So with that said, place the influencers that you actually want to buy an ad read from would be number one, you don't want to have somebody just reading mentioning your product or service in passing in a video. Like if I were to stop this video right now and say, NordVPN is the best VPN in the world, blah, 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 blah. Those actually don't work hardly at all. It's like comparing Facebook newsfeed ad, Facebook sidebar ad. The sidebar ads don't convert. The only people who buy those are basically, for the most part, not to say they can't, but it's not nearly as valuable. What you need, what converts, is something that's in people's center view and center attention. That is a whole video dedicated to reviewing a product or service because it looks organically driven and people are actually going to pay attention to what you're saying, versus as soon as you get to an ad read in the middle of a video, you just block it out mentally. Okay? With that said, on top of that, if you want it to work, you got to have someone that's niche specific if it's going to really pay most of the time. That is, you're not buying it to have, something that you said, Joe Rogan recommended XYZ product. So you could take that video and put it on a landing page, which that has loads of value in and itself. And if you could ever get that, you would want to do that because people will instantly believe whatever you're saying on your product pages or landing pages because Joe Rogan said it was a great product. But when we're talking about running influencer ad reads to get somebody to see the video or post and then immediately buy so that the sales from the ad read pays off what you had to pay to get it directly, you got to be able to get a dedicated video or post that looks like a recommendation from somebody in the niche that looks like where it looks organic. So in other words, you can't have some house mom recommending a fishing lure. It's not believable. You get yourself a micro or nano influencer to review your product, such as a home goods reviewer to review a mailbox, which we've done, just as one example. Naturally, this is sketchy because a lot of people would say, well, you can't do that because what if the influencer doesn't like the product, they're not going to recommend it. Well, if the product sells something else, for one. But if you really want it to work, it's got to be they reviewing it and then you're paying them to basically post that review on their channel because that's what really sells more than anything else. outside of, if you're going to get traffic, drive it to a landing page and get them to convert right away. You're not using, which I recommend you also have influencers or news stations or whatever review your product just so you can use those videos on your landing pages, and that makes so much money. But that's a separate thing. So with that said, okay, those are the fundamentals, all right? Now, based upon how much whatever it is that you're selling is, you can expect the less conversion rate, the more expensive it is. If you're selling something for 50 grand, your conversion rate is going to be way less on each legitimate video view than you're going to have when you sell a $50 item. Gradient to this thing, which I'm going to go over here in a minute, but if you don't know for sure if this is going to work for you, the easiest way to do that is to reach out to me at my firm at guaranteedppc.com. I'll tell you what to do, how much it's likely to earn. I can tell you what to do with your ads to get more results, what we can guarantee for you. And we're happy to have a conversation with you about it. You just have to reach out to me at guaranteedppc.com. We also, by the way, have been selling ad templates. We've generated results in over 100 niche markets in the last 10 plus years of running this firm, of which we can sell you the winning ads, landing pages, campaign templates, all of it that generate results in your niche market. You copy paste those into your ad account. You get the same results we have that we spent years developing overnight with your ad accounts. If you're interested in that, you can also reach out to me at guaranteedppc.com. I'll tell you what results we've got in the market you're in or in a market that you're interested in entering, which is the easiest way to start a new business, which is to start with an ad funnel that already works to sell that known product or service that we've already sold and figured out how to sell in that market in a different geographic area that you're going to be, and that is different city, different country, whatever. If you're interested in that, you can also reach out to me at guaranteedppc.com. That said, going back to what I was talking about here. Now, again, the more expensive whatever you're selling is, the less you're going to convert in terms of conversion rate per view, which will obviously dictate also how much you can pay for a view. The more expensive of whatever it is you're selling, the more expensive the average cost per view you can pay. The general range of what's going to be profitable for your influencer campaign is going to be a cost per view if we're talking about video marketing of somewhere between 10 cents a view and $1 a view. Naturally, that's about what running ads on top of the videos costs as well. But the influencer marketing is going to be more profitable because it's going to seem like a legitimate personal recommendation and way easier, way more profitable to get working, which is why if I were running a business, before I ran any YouTube ads, Instagram ads, any of that, I would go and literally try to do influencer marketing first, get my recommendations going, because it's going to be typically more profitable than running a straight ad. And when you are running a straight ad, the ads that work, by the way, are UGC ads. That is what looks like a customer reviewing that product or service. Organically, you take that and use it as an ad itself because it doesn't look like an ad, it converts well. And then you could take that recommendation, put it on your ad, or get an actor to act like they're a customer and use that as your ad, and that's going to be what works the best. And you could take that and run it on a channel, or you could go to the channel owner and get them to review your product itself, which works better because somebody who sees a review on that channel is going to obviously put more stock into that review than some random customer showing up on that channel that they're now watching, if that makes sense. So it would be your preferred recommendation. People like to run ads better and more because there's no negotiation with anybody. They don't have to worry about, you go to your Google Ads account, you can run a YouTube ad on that channel and you're done already. So there's pros and cons to this. Anything that takes more work obviously will generally make more because, assuming you know what to do that's productive, because your competition's lazy. And by reaching out to influencers directly, once you work out the math of what you should be paying per view, what's a reasonable cost per view for that influencer, you can start to make good money. And then just make a list of all the influencers in your niche category, reach out to them all, see which ones will let you do a review, then take all those reviews once you're done, use them on your landing page to make even more money on the traffic you're driving to the landing page because it looks like it's been reviewed by everybody, when really it was all just on the back of your influencer campaign. If you're in the like $40,000 to $80,000 range, so what I did here, by the way, to figure out these numbers is I basically had the conversion rate per view on a few different client campaigns that we had. And so I didn't have the opportunity to see the conversion rates on every one for a product or service at each one of these price points. I had for several here and then just kind of filled in the gaps on the rest of them, if that makes sense. So with that said, what we found is on something with around $40,000 to $80,000 lifetime or customer value, or for what the cost on it, you can expect a view to conversion of 0.015%. So in other words, you need 3,000 views on a video to get one sale. And that's real views again. With that said, you should be able to pay $1 a view for each one of those views. For a $50,000 sale, you're still getting over a 10-to-1 return. So it's still kosher. A lot of people would say, oh, that sounds expensive. But the people that say, oh, it sounds expensive, they just didn't do the math. They were emotional about the decision, and therefore they just never got anything out of it. You got to be totally unemotional. This all comes down to just math. Especially because I've given you the cheat sheet here, there's no reason why you can't make things work. The average dummy is going to go for the cheapest traffic. Cheapest traffic is never going to convert well automatically. Okay? You get what you pay for. Doesn't mean the most expensive traffic converts the best. You just have to understand how to properly evaluate stuff. Just like you're buying stocks, you don't buy the cheapest stock for, there would be that's the opposite of what you should do. So anyway, 20 to 40,000 in product cost or service cost, you should be getting a 0.03 view to conversion. 10,000 to 20,000 in cost, 0.06 view to conversion. 3,000 to 10,000 in cost, 0.12% view to conversion. $1,500 to $3,000, 0.24% view to conversion. $900 to $1,500 in that price range, it should be 0.48 view to conversion. $600 to $900, 0.75 view to conversion. $300 to $600 in cost, 1% view to conversion. $100 to $300 cost, 1.5 view to conversion, and but under $100, 2% view to conversion, which that may sound like a lot, and it is. But that shows you the power of a personal recommendation on a YouTube channel from a micro influencer that's in your space that recommended your product. You damn well want as many of these as you possibly can get because it'll pay off every time, especially when you get all the free extra additional conversion rate on your landing page and the traffic you're driving to your landing page now from having 15 influencers talking about how well your product was. I mean, it doesn't get any more believable than that. I mean, and basically they're going to be that, additional influencer testimonials on your landing page is all free because it's all paid for from the sales that they each one individually generate. If the influencer is going to pull their head out and quit sniffing their own farts and charge you what the traffic that they're generating is actually worth at the end of the day. It's like buying real estate. Your rent has to pay for your mortgage payment, and there's still got to be some left over. Well, if you're buying influencer ad reads that don't pay for the cost of sales that it generates, well then, you're just overpaying, basically. That said, you still have to know how to do a landing page and get the traffic you're generating to your site to convert well. And sometimes it may be just to understand how to get customers to buy again, to get the full value out of a customer and so forth. But you get the general idea of what I'm saying here. Now, if you want to know how to make a landing page convert and all those other little things that you need to know as a part of this funnel to make it work, you should subscribe to this channel because I have all the tips and tricks to be able to do that, as well as to make ad campaigns work, how to make ad copy, how to make video scripts, all this stuff that you need to be able to make millions of dollars a year running ads for your business. If you haven't subscribed yet, as a result of that, you should. I give it all to you for free, and it comes from somebody who spends 40 hours a week doing ad testing at our firm and have done it over 10 years now with dozens of ad accounts at any given time to find out what works the best, as well as with multiple e-commerce businesses that I also personally run on the side that we use all the same techniques on. They get results. So if you want to know from what really works, you want to subscribe to this channel. I also have a blog at guaranteeppc.com/blog where I give you the same stuff that we're using to guarantee results for our clients as well. So, and with screenshots, with everything you need to follow them and apply them to your own business as well. So you should definitely check that out as well if you like what you hear and see on this channel as well. So with that said, moving forward here, that gives you the general kind of conversion rate view to conversion rate ratio. And then with that, it'll tell you, can you afford to pay 10 cents a view, 20 cents, $1 a view? If you're more so on the expensive side, you can pay $1 a view. If you're on the low end side here, you can only pay 10 cents a view as it works out. And that's why, by the way, the cost per milli or CPM rates, a finance channel is like $40 versus a prank channel. Your CPM rates for advertising on those type of channels is like $2 per thousand, or CPM of $2. So it's 20x difference. It's all based upon how much you can generally get from a sale from a customer on those channels. You can sell them. On a finance channel, those people have money. You can sell expensive things to them. On a prank channel, it's probably kids. They don't have any money. You can't really sell anything to them unless it's $20 or whatever. So that gives you the explanation of why advertising is more expensive on one versus the other. Really, it's about competition. The more competition, the higher the CPM rate. Well, there's more competition because there's more money that you can extract from that audience, basically, bottom line. But if you get a video review of your product or service, this guide here essentially tells you what you should be paying cost per real view once you work out how many real views they have versus fake ones, what you should be paying for that video review, which ultimately they charge you per video. Well, you got to work out from that video how many views you're going to get, and then you have to work back from the views you're going to get what your assumed conversion rate is going to be at what price point, right? And with that, you can work out how many sales you're ultimately going to get from this. And either they're overpriced or they're underpriced. You'll find more people underpricing if you're going to go to the Nano Influencer level. We're talking less than 10,000 subscribers. And you're going to get more people overcharging on the higher end because they're selling to bigger companies who aren't paying attention to the ROI that they're getting. It's all relative. Your better bet is always going to be the smaller the influencer, the better. A lot of people don't talk about this, but it's absolutely the case because there's less juicing of the subscribers and everything else. Usually when the channel gets big enough, they're juicing the numbers to make more money. The same thing applies to banner ads on, websites on Google Display Network. The bigger sites almost always in on the game of having bots click their own ads to juice their own advertising revenue because they have to cover all this overhead of all these writers and everything else. Naturally, you can see from this table, like I said, if someone's has 3,000 subscribers and want to charge you $3,000 for a personal review video, if it's going to likely pay off or not pay off. And if it's not going to pay off, you can come back to them and say, hey, $3,000 is too expensive. How about 1,000? Maybe they'll say yes. Maybe they'll say no. If they don't, you go to the next one. And then you just get as many as you can that aren't overpricing their attention, that ultimately they're selling Anyway, that gives you the general idea. Now, this example here, to give you one perfect case study / example of how this works, we had a luxury mailbox product that we sold through influencer marketing. We made, just like I told you to do at the start of this video, we made a list of all the home goods style product review channels, or, like in the electronic space, there's channels that just review electronics, and that's all they do. And a lot of other channels, they're going to have some product reviews, but mostly other like, hey, look at this cool idea, whatever. And those are also fine. Really, it doesn't matter if they don't do any reviews at all. As long as the people that you're selling to have the propensity to want your product or service and there's a fit there. You're selling the fishing lure to the guy who talks about fishing strategy or what have you. So in this particular case, anybody who's talking about beautifying their home, like the type of reader that used to read like a Home and Gardens magazine, just to give you if you're old enough to remember what that's like, which they show pictures of beautiful homes, there's articles about it. We did what I was mentioning here. We had the person needing to review the product. We'd send them the free product, of course, and by the way, they want free product and they're still going to want money. So if you think you're just going to send them a free product and that's it, they're not that stupid anymore. They know what their value of their audience is. They're not going to settle for that. So you have to send them the free product, hope that they review it well. Then you're going to have to pay to get a dedicated video going on that particular channel. However, it was quite profitable, okay? We're talking, this particular product is closer to $1,000. We were right in that 0.75 view to conversion rate range that I was talking about. And we knew we could pay around 20 cents a view on that channel per real viewer and still make money. So anybody that was generally in that general price range, we were good, if you will. So, and the math worked out where we could make enough money, particularly with the upsells that we were doing on this product, because there's different features and, things that we could bundle in with the product. It's a custom product technically. That gives you a general idea of how well this can work and how it can work and what type of product it can work for. I will admit, products are a lot better for influencer marketing than services. There's absolutely no reason why this doesn't and can't work if you sell a service. In fact, we've done this before. We've done this before for accounting services specifically. One of the big things people they really scratch their heads about in that world is how the hell do we sell accounting services? The only time you buy that is when you need it. But what you do is you niche down in that space. You niche down, you sell accounting services to just metalworking shops. And just to give you one example, we did this in a bunch of niches. And you go to a metalworking shop space and you have your ad say, hey, this is who we use for accounting. If you're a metalworking shop, this is the guys you want to use. And then that worked very well. So you just have to think a little bit outside the box in order to make your service seem really good. You can't just be like, we have accounting. Accounting's great. Like, this is where people they don't make money from their ads because they think many times their boring product or service that has no clear differentiator, just putting it out there in an ad is going to work, and it's not. You have to have something that people are like, damn, I'm so interested in that. And if it doesn't do that on its own, you have to wrap it with a more prettier wrapping. It's specific for a certain niche. You're going to get a free, it's 50% off for this weekend only flash sale or something. Or we're going to give you, if you don't get the lowest quote, we're going to give you a $100 gift card as a consolation prize. And people are like, whoa, wow, that's really amazing. You got to figure something out to make it interesting, because in the world of advertising and display ads, higher the rate, click-through rate on your ad, the lower your cost per click. Because these videos, going full circle on this, the dedicated review is so good and it's coming from somebody that the person already trusts, you're going to get a super high click-through to the website to look at it. And if you've done everything else you need to do on your website to make things convert well, you've got a profitable campaign. So with that said, if you want to know if it even will work for you at all, because influencer marketing won't work for just everybody. If you have some super hyper technical thing that takes a 20-minute sales pitch to understand, it won't work for the most part. Reach out to me at my firm at guaranteeppc.com. I also offer coaching, and in a 30-minute coaching session, I can tell you exactly what will work, how it will work, basically what you can make off of it. And you don't have to waste any of your time and money going down the road of doing this and then just finding out later it wasn't going to work because your product or service wasn't like really right for it. Your website wasn't set up right for it. You didn't have the right landing page, whatever. And with that said, I'll wrap it up with that. Thank you for watching. I'll see you on the next one.
Remember when I said influencer marketing was important during this video? Well, this video here tells you how to do it.